let's talk about salary bump, first of all. What is it? I always think of baby bump, but I don't think this is anything related to the baby bump. It's the salary bump.
I contemplated the name very often. There was two things that came up, both pregnancy and apparently, according to my business coach, cocaine, which I had no idea about.
Oh no,
As a non-drug
it's
person.
neither.
Yeah, so that's, I guess, what's called a bump. But no, the point of it was I started it because I am a CHRO and chief HR officer, if you don't know what that means. I watched so many people over the years do it badly, do the interview badly and do the negotiation badly. And it wasn't just about what I saw, but statistically, less than 30% of women are negotiating. And I was one of those statistics for the first probably 2 decades of my career. And until I landed in HR and realized how much I had been leaving on the table, kicked myself, and everyone I meet today since launching this company says, KL, where were you 20 years ago? Where were you in my 20s?
Yeah. Yeah. I think, you know what? I think it is probably really a long past due, but that's okay because it's happening now. People are thinking about it more strategically. And I think post pandemic, it's probably made people think a little bit about things a little differently. But what is it with women in general? And again, I'm not trying to stereotype. I'm just saying you've created a business for this because you see it. What is it that they're not seeing their worth?
Yes, I don't know if it's that they're not seeing their worth. I think there's a couple of things that come up. Number one, some people don't know that they can negotiate. So for my first early days, I didn't know I could. I got an offer. I was so excited about the offer. I said yes. Woohoo, they want me. That's so nice. And I want the job. I had no idea I could negotiate. So that is an element that does exist. If you know you can negotiate, one of the biggest issues that women face is we are told that we are bad negotiators. I had been told for years, once I figured out I could negotiate, well, I'm not going to bother because women are terrible negotiators. So I guess I better not bother.
Right.
I tried it once in my maybe 5 years in, and I got turned down. And so from that moment on, I thought I was a bad negotiator. And so I didn't do it. And then there's a third reason. And that third reason stems around your relationship to money. So do you have a scarcity or an abundant mindset? Do you have the feeling, or do you listen to the noise, which is things like the market is so hard, you know, jobs are so scarce, you better just accept whatever you get offered. So they don't ask because they're coming at it from a place of scarcity and or fear of greed coming across. And if I am to negotiate, guess what? They might think I want the money more than I want the job. And for women, maybe it's, for many women, it was for me for sure, money wasn't my number one driver. But that
Right.
doesn't mean I shouldn't get paid what I'm worth, so that, because I have financial goals, I want to travel the world. I have retirement goals, vacation homes, items I want to buy. So why shouldn't I get paid to match the things I care about? It's just that element of worry that, oh my gosh, they might think that I am caring more about the money.
Okay. And that's funny because I'm going to read this piece of paper here that I did a little research, and it said, you know, here are some of the facts about women and why they are afraid to ask. Fear of being perceived as greedy. So you hit that one. Fear of rejection. We talked about that. Anxiety about their professional worth. Worry about damaging relationships with management. And concern over potential job security. So you mentioned all of those things. And, you know, I think that is very, very true, because if you ask for something and you're rejected, which you would say that happened to you, then you worry, oh my gosh, now do they think less of me? What do we need to do with that mindset? And is that rational or not?
Rejection in general, you get burned, and of course you're going to have a scar. You're going to have a bruise, and you're going to question the next time you go to take that action, whether it be dating, whether it be whatever it is, right? Rejection is hard. I think there's another piece that we didn't talk about, Bonnie, that's not on your list and not something that I mentioned. And that is, people don't know how to negotiate. They don't know how to figure out what they're worth because we are not talking about this. We are not having regular conversations at a cocktail party. Hey, Bonnie, what are you making? We have to start normalizing asking our network, our friends, what should I be asking for? What should I be talking about beyond salary? Talk to me about bonuses. Talk to me about equity. It's really confusing. Can you talk to me about what it would look like if I were to go into a startup? These conversations, once we start normalizing them, it will help. But you doing your homework to understand what you are actually worth and what the market is paying is another big hole that we have to fill. And then we move into how do you articulate it without coming across
Okay.
greedy or rude or, something that they might interpret. Those are the things you can own because that's all you can control.